Hi everyone, welcome to another Legends podcast here on Eurosport. I'm Mats Wilander and I am joined by Alex Corretja, a former great Spanish top two in the world tennis player, and also Matteo Berrettini, up and coming star. Obviously made the semifinals at the US Open. Unbelievably good tournament. The best forehand in the game, I think.
Wow.
Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Matteo. Thank you, Alex. We're going to
Sure.
start, Alex, with you because you are older. That's the only reason.
Okay.
What is the situation in Spain, Alex? We know that Spain has had some serious problems with this corona. What's the situation?
Sure. Well, thank you, Matt and Matteo. Of course, for me, it's also a pleasure being with you guys. Well, the situation is getting better. It's been so bad. We had nearly 30,000 people passed away already, and still so many people infected. But little by little, we are improving, and things are going, better. And the cities are also, open up a little bit more restaurants and more different shops and etc. So people understand the situation. I've been home for the last 80 days already. So I'm just hoping to move forward, actually.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Yeah, and Matteo, thank you so much for being with us. Obviously Italy has had a pretty hard times as well. Where are you, and what's the situation where you are?
Hey guys, first of all, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure as always to great legends of my sport. So thank you again.
Thank you.
And I'm in Florida, and I've been here for the whole lockdown period for the quarantine since I came here for Indian Wells, and
wow.
And then we decided with my team to be here was the best place for me to spend this period. I have my family in Italy. My grandparents, fortunately, luckily, they're fine. They're healthy. The situation in Italy was bad, especially in the north, but they decided to shut down everything, the whole country. And now it's getting better, like in Spain. Unfortunately, we had a lot of, deaths, but it's crazy what will happen. But we are a strong country. We're strong. We're gonna get better. We're gonna be stronger, and we have to think about the future now.
Yeah, Matteo, I'm interested in, obviously, this is reality, this is very serious. And then we have a job as a tennis player, and it's very serious. We do our best. Tennis is great for the world in terms of bringing forward great people like Arthur Ashe, Billie Jean King. Some unbelievable people have come through tennis. For you, what does this make tennis? Is it make tennis less serious, or how do you relate to this as a professional athlete?
Obviously, in this moment in our world, there are more important things, than tennis. This situation is about fighting for life. So we cannot even compare. But what we can do as athletes, we can show them what we can do to get better, to fight, because we are used to fight every time we go on the court, we go for next tournament, we're fighting against the opponent, against our fears, against the physical problems that are not that bad, but still they have. So we can show them maybe a little bit the way, to get better, and we can show them and tell them how we normally fight against these things. And it's tough. I have to recognize that I'm lucky for the situation that I am now. I'm not struggling about the economy. I don't have problems about money or stuff. I've been here in Florida and the situation wasn't that bad. I didn't lose any part of on my family. So I'm really lucky for what happened for me, and I really I'm really happy for this. But at the same time, I'm ready to fight, to help, to figure out what's the best to get over this tough situation.
Alex, I want to ask you, because we're obviously talking about how the tour is going to look when we come back, when should it start, and so on. What's the most important here for our sport and for the world? Is it to have players like Matteo and Novak and Roger and Rafa be a 100% when they come back? Or is it just important to get back as soon as possible to show the world that we're back, we're working, we're fighting? Where do you stand on how quickly we should start the tour, Alex?
Well, in my opinion, definitely we need to give a little bit of time to the players to prepare themselves. But as soon as we can, I think it will be great to be back. Because, okay, maybe you won't feel at your best. Maybe you will say, oh, my feelings on the ball are not so good. Maybe physically, I feel like my legs are not quick enough. But who cares? We don't care about that anymore. I think we are human beings. And as Matteo said, we are privileged. We are lucky that we are doing a sport that we love. And we need to give a little bit of time. Of course, I won't say, no, give 10 days the guys and bring them on to play tennis again, because that will be also risk considering injuries and all this stuff. But knowing that they're going to have at least a couple of months, it's more than enough. And as soon as we can, in my opinion, we should get as many tournaments as we can. I don't care if it's one big event against another, on clay, on hard courts, indoors, whatever they can put together. For me, it would be more than welcome.
Yeah, Alex, I was going to tell you that we always talk about the old style, and you have to serve and volley sometimes, and in doubles you have to come for. You and I are teaming up here against the hardest, best forehand in the world. First of all, yes, would you serve and volley against Matteo? And if you would, please, you go ahead. Ask him a question. But can you imagine standing at the net for that forehand? No.
Well, I don't know about you, Mats, but I would have paid a lot of money to have Matteo's forehand for sure. I will dream about that forehand at least one match in my life. Only that forehand during the French Open Roland Garros final against Guga will be enough probably to beat him. But I would serve and volleys from times, yes, maybe open up to his forehand on the due side and then find his backhand, or at some point doing a little bit of kick out to his backhand. I know he's very tall, but to make him feel a little bit uncomfortable, of course, and for sure try to play a slice down to his backhand. Not give him time to go around with his forehand, Matteo, because I know that you are very quick.
Well, Alex, why don't you throw a question towards Matteo? Why don't you chip and charge to his backhand then? Do something.
Okay, so Matteo, if you will have to play a guy like in the 80s that we play slower, but we had more patience and we play a little bit more tactically, would you like it better, or would you rather be on your moment now where everybody plays so fast, but probably tactically they don't care as much?
This is a tough question. The thing is, when I was younger, I wasn't playing like I'm playing now. You know, like I grew up on clay, and actually Vincenzo, my coach, was kind of pushing me to play more aggressive because he saw that I was growing a lot. My height was like I was growing, and he said like, you're gonna serve like fast, you're gonna play like fast forehand, you have to step in the court and you have to make them run, you don't have to run. So I actually like to play that way, but like more tactical, you know, slicing, using the spin a little bit more, changing directions and stuff. But at the same time, I build my body to be different kind of player. So mentally probably would do it, but physically I'm not that ready to really that much.
You know, Matteo, that is so interesting, I swear, because we always run into these problems in tennis where, if you remember the great Andy Roddick, unbelievable, best serve maybe of all time, great forehand. And he was a little bit too defensive, we always thought. But then you're bringing up a great point, because is tennis about liking how you play because that's more fun? Or is it about playing the most effective way because it's the only chance I have? When you played the US Open last year, I mean, that to me, tennis is so interesting, so fun, and it looked like you are really enjoying yourself. Did you have to push yourself at the US Open to be more aggressive, or is that you?
This is a really nice question, because I think you have to find the balance between what you like to do and what is most effective. I can like, I don't know, like I would like to play like 4 meters behind the baseline and just running like that,
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
feel
yeah.
you're fighting,
Alex,
no?
Alex, you and me.
Yeah, but I don't know, like guys, I grew up on clay, so
Yeah.
I was, you know, when your socks are getting dirty, you feel you're fighting more. I don't know why. Like when the rallies are long, like you're feeling like really it is a fight. And sometimes I like to play like that, but I feel like I see that it's not my play, it's not my game. So I have to adjust a little bit. And what I'm doing now is what I like. So like playing aggressive, using the drop shot, going to the net what I can with my forehand, serving big. And this is what I like to do, and what we built with Vincenzo during these years. And what I'm trying to do, what I was trying to do, and then there was this lockdown, but I was trying to do, I was trying to be even more aggressive. So going to the net even more, because I like to play volleys, I like to be aggressive, and obviously it's important to work on the defense. But the player that I am now, it's important for me to try to win the point with my weapons.
Yeah.
And considering that you grew up on clay as I did, and we have a little bit more like the mentality of being a little bit backwards and hitting so many balls, your best Grand Slams, it came at the US Open. But when did you figure out that you were ready to achieve that kind of tournament and to play it well as you did in New York? Because you've been playing very well in smaller tournaments, let's say, and then all of a sudden you were ready to be the best at New York.
I think it all started when I was 19, 20. And with Vincenzo, we knew that my best surface was clay. And Vincenzo said, okay, Matteo, but you're almost 2 meters. You're serving big. So you have to be able to play good on hard courts. So we decided to play 75% of my tournaments of my matches on a hard court, even though it wasn't my best surface. And when I was playing future challenger, he said, okay, we have to invest now, because now is the moment. And I know you don't like it. Probably you're gonna end your ranking is gonna be better if you play just on clay. But then when you're gonna be like on the ATP tour, then you're gonna struggle more. So we invest in that moment, and nothing, day by day, year by year, you know, matches by matches. You know better than me, guys. Like you just you do more experiences. You lose matches and you figure it out. Like the year before I lost first round in US Open, I was like, okay, I don't like this tournament. I don't like the conditions here. I really would like to play on clay. I need more time. But then I improve physically also. I improve like my movement and obviously my serve, all the things that year by year, days by days you put in. And at the end, I was feeling great. I was feeling that I had enough time to play my forehand. My serve was paying off a lot, and my slice was really effective because the surface was fast, but not that much. So it gives me time, you know, and for me it's important.
Yeah, Matteo, obviously you use. Or I've read this. You kind of started a little bit late to come on tour, or at least for us. Where we started to get to know you. When I see you play, I'm like, what are you talking about? He wasn't that good 3 years ago. So anyway, you started at the US Open. So you were on a roll. Now that there's been a break, what is it that is the easiest for you to practice on? And which part? Is it mental? What's the hardest thing with not knowing when you're starting and not knowing on what surface where you're gonna play? What's the hardest thing to practice for you?
Yeah, for me it was mentally. It was like I had actually the beginning of last year, tough times, especially in the American swing, Indian Wells, Miami, even though I won Phoenix, but I wasn't really mentally like really good. I was struggling because I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing. And for me, it was always like that since I was a kid. Like I was playing and I was dreaming to play this kind of tournaments because I really liked the sport. I really love the sport. And for me, going like to play in the center court in Indian Wells and not having fun, like not being happy to be there, was a big deal. And I have to figure it out. I can talk for 2 hours, but the main thing was like accepting what I was in that moment and accepting that it's normal, that sometimes like you're on the tour for years, months, and it's normal that you have up and down, and you have to accept your ups and your downs, and was fine. But I didn't have like that much experience to figure out this thing early, you know, because I mean 2 years ago I was playing challenges, so I was also, everything was so fast that I couldn't even like realize what I was doing. So with my coach, my mental coach, we work on it. We said, okay, Matteo, don't worry. Like if you're playing bad, if you're not enjoying it, it's fine. It's part of the process. It's part of your life. You're a human being. I'm sure that you're gonna like find a way to enjoy again, to be happy with what you're doing. And in the end, I started with Budapest last year, and since then I found something in myself, and everything was kind of, I mean, not easier because every match is a fight, but mentally was easier.
Oh, it's very interesting, because you know what, I think it's very important. I don't know, Mats, for sure you agree with that, but that when you say to someone like in your team, okay, I'm not enjoying, and they go and say, it's fine, don't worry, I understand you. Because what it gets me a little bit crazy is when sometimes we go out and say we're not enjoying, and they go, oh, you have to have fun, you're making so much money. It's not only a matter of that. And that's why I believe for you, as you've been talking now, you mentioned your mentor coach, you mentioned Vincenzo several times already. That means that for you, your team is basic for you to continue developing and growing, which is very grateful. I'm a little bit sad sometimes when I see players that they're not grateful to their teams, because they also make a big effort.
I mean, it's always about the people that you surround yourself with. That's for sure. What's happened in Italy, Matteo? Alex and I have been playing tennis for a long time. And when I grew up, there was Adriano, there was Corrado Barazzutti, and then there was Paolo Canet,
Omar Camporese,
and then there was not much. There was not much. And now we have you, Fognini, Yannick Sinner. The interest in tennis in Italy, what is it? The second biggest sport after football? Why? What is up with Italy and tennis?
It's crazy. It's crazy what's happening, because I mean I grew up in this period where like there were players, good players, but not as good like we are now. So I really believe that we are helping each other. Like we are pushing each other, you know, like Fabio is winning Monte Carlo, then the next week someone is doing great results. Marco Cecchinato did semis in Roland Garros, then the next week like someone was winning an ATP, then I was doing semis, then you know, like we're helping each other. The thing that we realized, I think, was like, but I'm practicing with that guy, and that guy win an ATP. Like, why I cannot win an ATP? So we kind of, you know, like say to ourselves, like we can do what, because I mean we're practicing. Sometimes we're winning, sometimes we're losing. So it's all about being there and believing what you're doing. Because sometimes especially when you're young, you say, okay, but I mean quarterfinals in ATP, like maybe it's fine, you know, like it's good, but no, for us wasn't enough. We wanted to do better, and we are helping ourselves in a way that is really helpful for us and for the crowd, for the Italian crowd, for everyone.
Of course, you had Flavia Pennetta, Francesca Schiavone. I mean, your women were just incredible. So is it the same kind of crazy thing about women's tennis as it is for men's tennis in Italy? Just tennis is a big sport.
I mean, we had like in the last years like 4 top 5 almost.
Yeah.
4 top 10 for sure. So it was crazy, and they won so much. They won several Fed Cups. They won slams, finals in slams. Sara Errani did finals in Roland Garros in Rome. I mean, it's crazy. The career slam in doubles. So great results for them. And I think, I mean, I didn't ask them, but I heard that they were helping each other in that way. You know, like they were competitive, all of them. And they were pushing each other. They were practicing together. They were like, okay, you won in your Wells, I'm going to show you that I'm going to do final maybe in Roland Garros. And this is something that I think you really need, as Djokovic, Nadal, and Roger. They're helping each other, because someone is winning there, the other one is winning the other tournament, and they're helping each other to find motivation and to be inspired for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it's been, I was always, you know, I loved playing in Rome for Italico. And well, we forgot Andrea Gaudenzi, by the way, which is the CEO from the ATP now. When I was growing
You
up, I
cannot
was
forget
playing
him
against
now.
him. No, Andreas has to be there for sure. Also great player, very tough one, hard worker. But did you feel like after the US Open last year, you become someone very, let's say, important in Italy? And is it difficult to deal, even if for sure you're grateful that people are coming up to you, but knowing a little bit the Italian fans, which sometimes they are very enthusiastic and like this, is it difficult for you to deal with this kind of different situation?
I wouldn't say that it's difficult, but for sure it's different. Like I wasn't used to it. I live in Monte Carlo, so it's a little bit different. Sometimes I go to Rome, but not that often to meet my family, to see my family. But yeah, you start to feel not the pressure, because it's not pressure, but you start to feel that they're talking about you, like they're, you know, like everything that you're saying, everything you're doing, it's like kind of they're saying what you said. They're writing, they're talking about you, and it's nice, because I mean, I work so hard to be in this place, and it's important that they figured out what I'm saying, what I'm thinking, how I'm playing, what's up with me, and what's wrong. So was nice. Was the end of the last year was a dream came true. After US Open, everything went so fast. I remember so many. Sometimes I even like forget about some matches, because I played so much. And you know, when you're in the tour, you cannot stop. You cannot stop thinking. You have to play. You can go on. You have another tournament. You have another week. You have to think about the next tournament. So it was really nice. It was the first year that was like this for me, and ended in the best way possible, because I played the finals in London. And this year, fortunately, I was injured at the beginning of the year. I was injured in the middle of the year, then the lockdown. So I didn't really have the chance to play and to step in the court and show, first of all, to myself that what I did last year was good, and was actually something that I deserved. But it's nice. It's nice, and it was really tough for me not playing Rome with the crowd, you know, because I mean, normally for all Italians, it's a special tournament, especially when you're having like a special end of the season. You cannot wait to play there, because everyone is waiting for you. So I was excited, and I was really sorry when the tournament got moved.
Yeah. You talk a lot about working hard and having a serious attitude. There's a lot of players on tour that make up the ATP Tour and the WTA Tour. And Dominic Thiem came out and said about the Player Relief Fund. And you don't have to even answer if you don't want to, but I know that you have an opinion about that, and you thought something that the International Tennis Federation and the tournaments should help the other players rather than the players. Would you want to explain just where you stand with the Player Relief Fund?
It's complicated. It's not just that easy for me.
Sure.
I know that my words can be read in a way that it's bad, but I don't want to be the kind of guy. I'm just saying that I know really well, like, how these players are struggling, because my brother is 500 in the world, so I know the reality. I've been there, not for a long time, luckily, but I've been there. I know, and I'm helping him. I'm trying to help him as much as I can. And I just said that in these tough moments, for me, my priority is not helping like tennis players, but I would rather help other stuff. Then you can say, like I said, like I read, you can help both. Yeah, but maybe I can help. No, it's about me. It's not mandatory. It's not something that I must do. It's something that I feel to do. And now my feelings and what I would like to do and what I'm doing, it's helping other situations. And this is all. But as we know, like, you can take my words out of the context, and you can say that I don't lie. I don't know. I don't like tennis players. I don't like help people, but it's not true. It just I pick to help certain stuff, and this is my decision.
Yeah. Matteo, I am going to say it then. I agree with you 100%. I think that we should all help the people that need the help. And unfortunately, tennis players do not fall into the category right now of people that need help. I think that we should help with face masks and hospitals, and I agree with you 100%. We have heard Sasha Zverev, Matteo, has come out and said something that he thought that this break is going to benefit the players that have more experience, like Roger and Rafa and Novak. Dare I disagree? I kind of feel, whoa, if I was a young player, I would be so strong coming back. It's easy to say for us now, of course. What do you think this break does to players, and who is going to benefit from it? Roger Federer, he's 1 year older nearly when we start again. Who's going to benefit?
Oh, I really don't know who's gonna benefit more, but the only thing that I know is like they had a long career and they've been like through injuries, serious injuries, and they came back stronger than before. So they have this kind of experience. So they could use this time in the same way. So maybe when they're gonna come back, they are gonna feel like in the same way. And they did unbelievable. Like Federer, after surgery, he didn't play for a long time. He won Australian Open, I remember. Rafa, same thing. Novak, unbelievable. Indian Wells, I remember he wasn't really feeling well, and then he didn't lose a match for 6 months. So they know how to come back after this, and they have more experience. But at the same time, like you said, they're gonna, I don't want to say they're gonna be older, but we are stronger now. We are younger. Yeah. So we could use, like I tried this period to get better, to feel better, to be more ready for what we are going to do. And I think it's all about how you approach the thing. Like if you think that the other guy, the other side of the net, it's like he's gonna have more weapons, I think it's not true. It depends what you did, what you've been doing during this moment. And for sure, I'm feeling that I improved certain stuff. So this is what I thought during this period.
Yeah. And these days, how many hours are you practicing now that I believe you can go out and pretty much do your stuff to be ready when the tour is coming?
Yeah, I spoke with my team and we were like, okay, it's important to not stop what I'm doing. Like, like you cannot not play for 1 month. You're gonna get injured after you came back. But at the same time, you cannot be burnout. Like you cannot practice too much, because then when the tour is gonna come back, then
overcooked.
You're gonna be you're gonna feel tired or something. So now I'm doing like tennis in the morning and fitness in the afternoon. And during the lockdown, I was doing one day tennis, and the day after I was doing fitness. Now I increase a little bit. I'm doing more, but it's not something that is. I'm not feeling heavy about doing that. I'm not feeling like at the end of the week I'm tired. Like it's normal, but it's also something that I like to feel. Like I like to practice. I like to work hard, to work out, sweating. So it's something that I like. So I'm feeling worse if I'm not doing anything. So for me, it wasn't that tough.
Yeah. Matteo, I have to ask you about your attitude, because your attitude is incredibly good. Okay, during the US Open. It's very, unbelievable. On the outside, I don't know on the inside. That's, what you are like on the inside. So I interviewed Fabio Fognini in Wimbledon 1 year, and he was playing on court 18, and he was talking to Franco Davin at the time between points, and he was laughing, and he won in the end. I said, Fabio, you have to tell me, please, what do you say to your coach? How come you are laughing at 2 sets all, 3-2 in the 5th set? You are laughing when he says, it's an Italian comedy. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, okay. So that's in Italian. For you, I watch you, and the stereotype Italian behavior is not like you to me. You're very controlled, but you're very positive, which is part of the reasons why you are so good and so dangerous. Is it hard for you to be like that? Is it something you work on, or is it coming from Italian culture or from your family?
This is something that it's not easy at all. I don't know if you know about the story. When I was 14 and I started working with Vincenzo, he used to call me the radio because I was talking every point. What Fabio was doing at 3-2 in the fifth, I was doing since the first point until the end of the match. So he said,
Very
"Okay,
Italian.
Matteo, I don't know if you're gonna be a tennis player, professional tennis player, but I know for sure that if you're gonna be like this, you're not gonna be able to play at that level because this is too important." So for me, it was the toughest part. Like, forehand, physically, movement, stuff like workout, serve. But the toughest part for me was this one. And I realized how important it was. And still sometimes I'm falling like a little bit, I'm talking, but I'm really trying to, because I know that it's really important. It's like, without that, I'm half of the player that I am now. So I invest a lot of time, a lot of energy in this thing. And with Vincenzo, we really believe in this part of the game. And it's really nice that you notice that because it makes me feel good, because it's something that I work hard. So like I work hard since I was 14, and it didn't come easily. It wasn't something that I said, okay, one day I woke up and I was like, okay, now I do like this. It was tough, but you know how it's important, like Vincenzo is always seeing the glass always half full, no? Like everything that is happening. If we think about like the same is with Monfils, I served to the match and I did double fault, and I laughed and I was ready to play the next point, because in that moment, if you start to complain, then there is no chance you're gonna win the match. There is no chance. And so I said to myself, put yourself in the best situation as possible. You have to be there, even though you had chances, even though you had maybe the biggest chance of your career so far, you have to be ready for the next point. And that's what I try to do. It's not always working, but I was lucky and I was maybe good enough.
No, it's working. Alex, I need to ask you a question because
Sure.
I find, and I'm not sure if you find the same, but I find, Alex, that with Matteo here, with Stefanos, with Denis Shapovalov, who loves playing, loves fighting, Felix Auger-Aliassime, same thing, great attitude. A lot of the young players coming up, and Matteo, you are still young, have this amazing good attitude. It's like a combination of Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer in the attitude, in the strokes they are using, one-handed backhand on Stefano. Do you think that Novak and Roger and Rafa have affected the young generation that's playing now? Or is it just the culture of coaching that have made Matteo, for example, realize I have to be quiet on the court because it's good for me as a professional, Alex?
Well, I think it's a mixed combination. For sure, the big example of these guys, growing up, watching these big stars, for sure they need to help them, because you always go, and for sure your coach used to tell you, like, look how he does it. And look, he's not complaining. And he missed this match point. And look, he didn't even say a word. That helps you to realize that you cannot be just talking like a radio, like Matteo used to be. And also, exactly. And also, I'm very happy and pleased that he said that, because I hate when people or players are going like, oh, this is how I am. This is what am I going to do? Like, if you cannot practice that, you can practice your backhand, your forehand, your physical condition, but also your attitude and your mental game. And in my opinion, why Matteo or Stefanos or the other guys are doing better is because they are unbelievable athletes, very talented, but they are more mature and they are more ready. And because at the end of the day, I'm not so sure, Mats, but you were like an amazing player, but I'm not sure if you had the best forehand in the world and you won 8 or whatever slams or 7, I don't care. And and that's because your mind was working very well, and that's what I'm happy to hear, that Matteo is working on that. So you can work on that. It's like a message for people. I know it might become a tougher tour if you bring some ideas to the opponents, but I think it's very nice, because this is human being. We need to improve things.
Yeah. Yeah. Matteo, because we're talking about young players, obviously Yannick Sinner, I'm assuming that you know him very well, that you practice with him sometimes. Where do you, because to us, maybe he is the most promising of the young players. Felix Auger-Aliassime is very young still, but Yannick and you, Davis Cup with Fabio, Marco Cecchinato. I mean, what's Italy's future going to look like? And is Davis Cup or the ATP Cup, playing for your country, as important as the Grand Slams?
Like I was saying before, it's really nice for the country, for the team in general. Yannick, it's such a nice guy. I had the chance to practice with him in Monaco a couple of times. And I mean, I spoke with him a little bit, and you immediately realize how is really what Alex was saying. He is really mature. Like his weapons are great. His backhand, it's unbelievable. He's returning really well. He's hitting strong. But I think his best weapon is here. Like he's really, if you see him, he has like a goal. He has like, before he's stepping in the court, he knows what he has to do. And no matter what is going to happen, he's going to do it. He's going to be tough. He's going to be ready. And this is something that is really difficult to see in such a young guy. So this is his best weapon. And I mean, then of course you have to have skills like everybody does, but I think that he's going to have a bright future ahead, and hopefully we're going to have a great team in the future, and hopefully we can do great results.
Yeah. Guys, Alex, I'm going to let you guys go, but I'm going to just say something, because I saw, and I'm sure you know, but the people that are listening, I hope they realize that there was a survey about your forehand, Matteo, and they compared your forehand to Rafael Nadal's forehand. Okay, I think it was at the U.S. Open. It was at the U.S. Open, Australian Open or U.S. Open. It's as fast as Juan Martín del Potro's in the air, and it has as much spin as Rafael Nadal's forehand. That's the combination that your forehand is. So for me to hear you with the attitude you have means I'm going to get to watch this forehand for the next 10 years, because their stroke is insane. And we only see these shots once every 5 or 6 years. Stan Wawrinka's backhand, same thing. Your forehand, the same thing. So I want to say thank you very much. Alex, I'm going to give you the last word to ask Matteo something. You and Alex, we're coming to the net. It's the last point, match point.
Yes. Okay, try to pass me, Matteo. All right. If I could give you the chance to pick one tournament that you could win in your career, that you would say, please, I want to win this tournament for sure, which one it would be? This is symbolic to your body, man. You need to react.
In Italy, we would say, Mamma mia, what a question. I mean, if I have to answer from my heart, I think would be Rome.
Yes.
Wow.
But at the same time, I cannot pretend that I don't care about slams. So I would say maybe Wimby. I would say Rome and Wimby. And I would like to say thank you guys for having me. Was a really a nice talk.
Thank you.
Was an honor talking with you guys. An honor saying what Mats was saying about my forehand. It's crazy. Probably my family, when they're gonna hear this conversation, they're gonna pass out. Like they used to watch your matches, and I mean also you, Alex. It's crazy what's happening to me. What we were saying before happened, everything so fast, and I really appreciate what you said, and hopefully we're gonna have another talk in the future, and take care.
Sure.
Matteo, thank you very much.
Matteo.
Alex, thank you very much. Yes, we are very impressed with your forehand, Matteo, but seriously, your behavior is really what is the most impressive, and it's going to take you to be really close. Alex?
Did you ever win Rome?
I won in Rome, yes. Yes.
I won in Rome too. Rome too. So Matteo, for sure, your destiny is to win Rome, man.
Okay.
Let's
guys, thank you very much. Matteo, good luck. Be safe. I hope your practice goes well. Alex,
thank you.
We'll see you another day soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.